Section-level manual coffee machines are rare, so I was eager to get my hands on the Breville Bijou Espresso machine VCF 149. At under 150 pounds, it gives off an impression of being the ideal model for beginning with making coffee the legitimate way, or in any event, for the people who don't drink coffee frequently, yet extravagant and appropriate espresso. Design and features: tiny and light, single and twofold channels, legitimate steam wand. As a passage-level coffee machine, the Breville Bijou Espresso machine VCF 149 is super minimized and occupies minimal counter room. In such manner, it's like the Beko espresso coffee machine CEP 5152. In the case, you get a gathering handle and 2 portafilters, one for a solitary shot of espresso and one for a twofold shot of espresso, as you'd expect of a modest machine. The VCF 149 utilizes the more modest 52mm channel size instead of the expert 58mm. There's a fundamental scoop in the case, in spite of the fact that it's very feeble. I suggest purchasing a strong metal one. You will love it. Whenever you've placed coffee into the channel, the gathering handle gets into position under the machine. Be cautious, since the lightweight Breville Bijou Espresso machine VCF 149 is inclined to moving around both while embedding and eliminating the handle. Under the spout there's space for mugs up to 110mm in level, and that implies you will not have the option to fit in taller, latte-style glasses. Water is given by the lift-out 1.5-liter water holder that sits at the back of the machine, given the Bijou Barista's minimal size. That is a respectable measure of water. You will not need to continue to top it off continually. Controls are comparably basic. When the coffee machine is turned on, it gets used to espresso temperature. Simply turn the dial to one side to administer water and you're all set. At the point when you need to steam, just hit the steam button and the single kettle increments temperature, with the status light turning strong when it's prepared. You can then turn the dial to one side to apportion steam through the wand. This sort of setup is slick. It implies you can turn the dial to remove any water in the wand before you start, and afterward flush milk through whenever you've wrapped up. There is one issue. In any case, when you've completed the process of steaming and need the coffee machine to return to coffee temperatures, there's no auto-venting. Leaving the Breville Bijou Espresso machine VCF 149 to chill off takes some time, so I turned to physically venting steam out of the wand into an unfilled container until water went through. Coffee quality: pours exceptionally quick, simple to get espresso out. Coffee is excessively hot. For those new to making coffee, attempting to have a fair chance of espresso can be troublesome. Misunderstand the drudgery and pack and you might wind up with nothing at all approaching out of the spout. Accordingly, passage-level coffee machines attempt to keep away from that situation with channel bushels. In such manner, it's not difficult to get coffee out of the Breville Bijou Espresso machine VCF 149. The drawback is that it's essentially difficult to get espresso to pour at the right rate. 20 seconds for a solitary shot and something like 30 seconds for a twofold shot is my go-to. Regardless of how fine the toil or hard the pack, I found that the Breville Bijou Espresso machine VCF 149 poured the coffee extremely quick. This left the last shot of espresso with a seriously frothy crema that vanished rapidly. Estimating the temperature of a dose of coffee, I found that it sat at 73.5 EOC, which is very hot for espresso. Optimal would be nearer to 60 OC. What's more, there's no temperature control on this model to make any changes. Therefore, my espresso tasted excessively unpleasant on first being poured, and my Fairtrade Peruvian beans missing the mark on normal nuance. When the shot was cooler, it tasted somewhat better. However, I've tasted better shots of espresso from section-level bean-to-cup machines like the Beko CEG 5311. Milk foaming, pleasant control, great surface is conceivable. The steam capability on this machine is very great. As referenced, you can flush out water before you begin steaming decisively. With that dial control, I found it genuinely simple to froth milk, with a decent turning activity to mix it together. Utilizing it to pour a level white, the outcome was okay. The milk had a pleasant surface to it, yet the crema wasn't exactly thick enough for the milk to be poured with an example on top of it. Maintenance: exceptionally simple to take care of. Essential cleaning and descaling. Since this is an essential coffee machine, there isn't a lot to stress over with regards to maintenance. The dribble plate can be eliminated and ought to be wiped out routinely to forestall any form development. Descaling ought to be completed at ordinary spans. As well, each 3.5 year ought to do the trick, contingent upon the hardness of your water. Note that there's no descale pointer on this machine, so you'll either require a schedule update or play out the gig on the off chance that you notice that water isn't streaming at its standard rate. Please go to see in description below to see more details. Finally, thanks for watching this video. See you again next time.